One day, me and my friend were walking down her road. It's a dead-end street and right by the forest, only her family lives there. As the sun had recently set, and we heard loud footsteps behind us, like someone was running after us. There was no one behind us. We simply looked at each other silently and immediately ran to her house. Then that same night, we sat on her balcony around maybe 1-2 a.m., and we kept hearing strange noises coming from the forest. I honestly don't remember. Can't explain what they sounded like, because they didn't really remind me of anything. They were just weird. Then, we saw two dogs who were walking around mindlessly stare at the forest. They just stared and walked slowly and seemed really out of it, like they were possessed or something. After staring for a while, they went into the forest, and we didn't see them come back that day. We stayed there long after that. The next day, the dogs showed up again, but I still think their behavior was really weird also. All of this happened after we saw a witchcraft thing. Someone in my friend's family had put on the grass and laughed about it. There was no explanation for the occurrences. Until this day, we think it was something supernatural getting back at us for making fun of it.
During my apprenticeship, I once had to do some work in the attic of a large warehouse. The owner even told me that it had probably been 15 to 20 years since anyone had been up there. I finished the work and headed back down. The stairwell echoed, and you could hear my footsteps throughout the entire space. But somehow, the echo didn't quite match my walking rhythm. I didn't think much of it and kept going. Then the footsteps started to get faster, and it sounded like someone was running after me. Only when it felt like the steps were almost right behind me did I turn my head around, and in that exact moment, the footsteps stopped completely. From then on, I walked down the rest of the way with my back to the wall. I still remember how I suddenly felt freezing cold. That was the first and last time I ever experienced something like that.
Friend's husband passed away. It was tragic, a terrible day. I could not sleep that night. I had a vivid dream or something. Her husband was talking, telling me to give his wife a message. He wouldn't leave me alone. I didn't think she would believe me, so I didn't call my friend the next morning. I kept the messages to myself, but something kept nagging me to call. I was getting a bad headache. By 3 p.m. I was exhausted and finally called her. I told her he said he was sorry and all the other things he told me. She was really relieved. She asked me if he said anything else. I told her he did, but the other things didn't make sense. She said to tell her. Anyway, so I did. She confirmed the message did make sense. It was about one of the kids, so I don't want to reveal anything personal here. After our conversation, I was calm and finally at ease. My headache went away and I went to sleep. It never happened again like that. I have received anonymous messages to give to people, and they have all been confirmed too. Weird.
Was at a friend's place, a very old wooden high-set house. Previous to this, he told me that it was haunted. Drawers would open and close, cupboards would open and slam shut, etc., etc. I called bull as I'd never experienced this myself. Until one night, after playing WoW for too many hours and eating too much pizza, I decided to sleep in his lounge room as he had a futon. I heard shoes walking from right to left. Slowly, they were ladies' shoes, much like the traditional witches' shoes, with the big single brass buckle on the front. They walked slowly, from right to left into the kitchen, paced around, and walked back from left to right. I can still hear the steps to this day. They were heavy. There was also a scuff like the heel hit too low before the foot was placed down every other step. There were only the two of us in the house, and he was asleep in his room. I shat bricks and told him the next day. He said he heard it as well, and it's common. A few weeks later, he said that all the doors and drawers were opening and slamming shut like something was losing its mind in the kitchen. After that, a mirror flew off the wall in the second bathroom and shattered on the floor, and everything immediately fell deadly silent. He never had any issues after that mirror smashed on the floor.
Whenever me or my siblings are home alone downstairs, we hear footsteps pacing back and forth upstairs. Whenever we get to our stairway, though, the footsteps stop abruptly. Also, sometimes we get home from vacation to find one or two of our windows open. We live in a safe neighborhood, so it's not really a problem, but my mom is convinced that it's the work of ghosts, because we obviously would never leave our windows open before going on a road trip. Edit. Our attic is far too small and dangerous for a stowaway, plus the only entrance to it is in my mom's closet, which has boxes and stuff. Impossible to get in and out without making a ton of noise. Plus, we have 4 cats and a dog, so no humans or vermin are running around in our house undetected. The footsteps are loud stomps, stomps that pace back and forth and are human but stop abruptly when I reach the stairs. It's not like something scuttles away and hides, it just stops.
When I was in college and studying at home, I remember needing to find a particular old 17th century play called The Alchemist by Ben Jonson. Me being poor and stupid, I didn't buy the class textbook, so had to find it on my own. I was at my desk and behind me was a walk-in closet which I used as a library as I collected old and rare books. I remember thinking that I saw the play in an old anthology of literature that I owned, and quickly pushed that out of my mind as I thought it would take too much effort for a text that was surely available on Project Gutenberg online. I heard a loud thump behind me. I turned around in my chair and walked into the closet, and on the floor was a book turned open with the pages facing up. You have to understand for this to truly sink in, that my closet was lined with shelves that extended far enough back that no part of my books were hanging over the edge. I was meticulous and careful with them as some were relics. I looked at the book in disbelief, and when I saw that it was the anthology of literature I was thinking of, and not only that, but the header of the page showed it was a page of the play The Alchemist, I knew this was something truly out of the ordinary and unexplainable. I have more experiences in this house, but this one will remain for me as irrefutable proof that something intelligent, that understood my inner thoughts, caused that to happen. In the same house on the day my father died, my grandma also tells a story of how pictures in the house were flying off the walls at her. My dad hated her guts and she's always been an honest person. I don't know if I'd call what happened to me an experience with a ghost necessarily, but I thought it was worth mentioning.